I'm Natasha Lloyd. Oh, it's been such a lovely morning. Thank you for staying with us in the chat on Facebook, if any of you want to join. This is probably one of the most important purchases I've ever made in my life. It's one of the greatest things that HSN has gifted me is having the opportunity to have such an ease and access to a generator at a time when blackouts and brownouts are more common everywhere across the world and the United States. Last year during our hurricanes, the difference between me being in a panic as the storms were about to make a direct hit and me feeling super prepared and calm and comfortable was my EcoFlow. I had a couple lights plugged into it. I had a couple things plugged into it. I had already known ahead of time just how many hours they would last because EcoFlow told me. It will tell you how many hours you have exactly with whatever it is that's plugged in. It will tell you what your battery life is on the front of your EcoFlow. It's totally goof-proof, very easy to read. And maybe you say, oh goodness, that says there's only 12 hours. I'd like to have 20 hours. Well, try plugging in this lamp instead. Oh good, okay, that one gave me 24 hours. Especially nowadays when so many things are LED, I think you're going to be shocked to find just how much power you're going to have in the longevity with your EcoFlow. And when the power did go out, my toddler didn't even know. She didn't even know because we had our lights going. We had a television going. This is how you do it, and EcoFlow is the best in the business. Our prices today on the Delta 3 power station, we are at today's special price. This is the most Goldilocks-sized EcoFlow that we have, and if you are wanting to get the entire kit, now is the time. So the generator itself is on sale for $519, and it's from $729. We love that. It's $210 off. Everyone's going to get 5 flex pays of $104, and if that's what you're here for today, I think it's a very savvy purchase. This is the one that I personally own. If you, however, want to really go for it and make sure that even if the power is off, if you need that power for the next day or the next day, maybe it's because the blackout lasts more than a few hours, maybe it's because you're camping, maybe you just want to know that when God's in business, you're in business, you will have perpetual power to your EcoFlow as long as you have this solar panel. Today is the day to grab the bundle. $260 off our normal bundle price here. You will be getting, of course, this great size on your solar panel, and you also get this Wagon, which makes it very easy to maneuver, to move wherever you may need to have it, or you can just use it for anything else. I mean, these Wagons alone go for $300 anyway, so great price on that. We have Justin Hyatt here with us. Hi, Justin.
Hey.
How are you?
Perpetual.
It's a good word.
It's a good word.
Thank you.
But you know what? It's nice because even when we think about perpetual power, it's perpetual confidence. It's perpetual just every single day knowing I have something there in my house that I will be able to use, and the confidence to know that you are getting the #1 brand. EcoFlow is not just a brand. We carved out a world that didn't exist before. When we thought of backup power, it was gas and it was propane generators, and that was it. And you know what that meant for all of us who lived in apartments and condos? We didn't have an option. EcoFlow has created an option for everybody to be able to feel confident, to have something. But then over the past 7 years, we are now celebrating 7-year anniversary here at HSN. We have become the #1 go-to power brand here at HSN, the #1 power station brand in the United States, and not only in the United States anymore, in 140 different countries with nearly 5 million customers worldwide. You know why? Because everybody needs the same thing. We need power, but we need it to be simple. We need it to be easy. We have the Delta 3, which, as Natasha said, is the Goldilocks. This is that perfect size because we offer a lot of different options, which is great. We offer some that are the River line that will power about 80%. We have some of our Delta line that will power about 90%. This is our Delta 3, which will power 99% of your home appliances. 99% of your home appliances. Now, imagine if you're sitting there right now, and all of a sudden, it looks like a beautiful day, and actually just pulling it to work, I don't know if you saw it, Natasha, this just gigantic thunderstorm that's out. It happens quickly. And maybe we can get prepared, maybe we can't, but we can get prepared right now. When that thunder hits, the lightning strikes, power goes out, what do? You need to be there and you need to be ready when all you need to do is press one touch of a button. That's it. I can go ahead and turn on my light and my fan. Again, one touch of a button to turn my light and my fan on, so I'm not sitting here in the dark. So when the power does go out, the lights flicker, you don't have to feel that anxiety and that fear anymore. You don't have to run outside to grab a generator, especially if it's for 4 hours, 5 hours. But again, perpetual power, that's why we also include the solar panel, so that when the next day comes out and then God's energy comes back out, and he is now, of course, we've got the power of the sun to re-energize our power station. That's why you want to get the bundle. And then I could use a Wagon just for myself, so somebody could wheel me around every once in a while. But you have the Wagon to be able to wheel around your power station. And really quickly, I have the extra battery that's up top here as well. That will give us, it's showing me roughly about, I've got 1.5 days right now for my light and my fan. 1.5 days, and the extra battery, which is just right on top of here, it stacks on top. You'll be able to get another extra kind of battery system, but you're not doubling the cost, which is what we really love. So you can actually double the time by just grabbing one of the extra batteries.
In fact, that extra battery is a customer pick with all 5-star ratings. It's the best rated EcoFlow, you know, additional add-on. So everyone who grabbed it was like, oh my gosh, it's almost like having a whole additional generator to go without having to wait for maybe the sunlight, or I forgot to have this one charged. It's a really convenient way to grab it. If you've never heard of our VIP financing, it's really like a little bit of a speakeasy, and the only password you need to know is the HSN credit card. If you sign up for it, even if you sign up today, you can still use it for VIP financing, which is very convenient. This means you're still paying the same great price as everyone else. You're not paying a cent more, but instead of those 4 months or to grab the battery, or the 5 months on the flex payments for your new EcoFlow generator and solar panel and Wagon, you're going to have an additional 13 months. So it will be an additional 13 to the 5 that everyone else is getting, making it 18 months. You won't be paying a cent more than anyone else, but instead of the, you know, $124 flex pay that they're paying, your monthly flex pay will now be, is it $44? I think it's 44. 34, even better, it's $34.44. So that'll be your monthly payment, not having any interest on that. You'll just pay that first $34 and change, and we will ship you everything right away if you're using that HSN credit card, which is really a wonderful way to take advantage of it. And as soon as you get it, these are the most user-friendly generators. You're not worrying about the gas. You're not worried about, you know, if you're in an apartment or a condo, and then nowadays they won't even let anyone take anything like that in because it's too dangerous. They have to be outdoors. All you have to do is plug it in and charge it up once. And when you've done that, sometimes what I would just recommend doing is maybe find a couple places in your house, try to carry it there, you know, once or twice. See, where would I want to move this to, you know, when that happened? Maybe it's somewhere in the living room. That tends to be where people like to use it. Maybe it's just the bedroom and you kind of want to hang out there. Know that you can plug your TV into it. Know that you can plug a lamp into it. Know that you can plug, you know, some of your electronics into it. Try it. Just try it once. Plugging in all the things that you would use. See what the battery says on it. See how many hours you know you're going to have with that configuration. Because once it comes time, if that blackout happens, especially if you know the storm is already pre-coming and you have it set up, but once it happens and that blackout happens, you're not going to be guessing. Oh my goodness, how long do I have my lights? How long do I have this? How long do I have my fan? How long do I have my CPAP? How long do I have the refrigerator? You're going to know. And even if you add a couple new things to it, there's no guesswork. It will tell you right there in nice, clear, easy to read numbers how many hours you have on that full capacity powering everything that you want to use. Maybe you're like, oh goodness, this one is pulling so much more power. Okay, that's fine. Just unplug that one thing and use the rest and watch the hours go up to like 80 suddenly. It's so much fun to just kind of see, and just try once. And then when the storms come, the amount of cure that you are getting with this prevention, it cannot be overstated. It's already going to be a stressful time. Storms are going to be stressful. They're going to be dangerous. They're going to be something that is high stakes. Anything you can do to reduce the danger, to reduce the stress, to reduce the trauma of being in a serious weather event is worth every cent and more. The fact that my daughter wasn't screaming because she hates the dark, she's very afraid of the dark. It was my biggest fear. The fact that not only was she not screaming, she wasn't crying, I didn't have to wait for the sun to come back up to comfort her. She didn't even know the blackout happened. She didn't even know we went to emergency mode because the emergency mode was evaded because I had my EcoFlow, and I did have the Delta. This is that Goldilocks one. It's the one that you're gonna be able to power most of your things. So let's say I'm hungry, Justin.
Yeah.
I wanna use an air fryer.
Natasha's hungry.
Am I good?
How are we gonna feed Natasha? That's what we're all thinking right now, is that's top priority.
You said you want to be pulled around in a wagon.
That's how we keep the sanity inside the house. Look, it is these things, right? It's the creature comforts, but it is the necessities. We think food, we need water, we need power. What does food and water need? It needs power. When we think of medical devices, I want to show you again, we talk about how easy it is. I've plugged in my air fryer. It's right here. We're running it inside of the studio. And it's something that I can lift and I can put right here on a kitchen counter. I can put it on a kitchen island. I can put it on a coffee table, a dining table. So here it is. It's, you know, you can see it even in comparison to the air fryer that I've got right now. And I'm just going to set this to 370 degrees. Now we can be making wings. We could be making chicken nuggets. We could be, what would you put in the air fryer? Would you reheat your pizza inside of here? What would you make? A rotisserie chicken?
Spring rolls.
Spring rolls.
I want to put whatever was in the freezer in the air fryer.
Exactly. And you know what? Whatever's simple and easy, right? But we have all of these things that we prep and we put inside the freezer for those moments. Yep. We want something easy, especially in emergencies. The stuff that's in the refrigerator should stay cool because now we have our EcoFlow to plug in our refrigerator, but then we want to be able to cook that food. Look at what we're doing right now, and I want you to seriously consider what we're doing. We are cooking food in an air fryer inside without having to worry about power from our home. Now, we've got power within our home, and you have that power right now to be able to decide, when do I do it? When's the best time? Today, never tomorrow. Why? Because when you get prepared now, you have the confidence that you don't have to worry about tomorrow. Now, you can have the food, you can have the water, but what about the power? That's what you're getting with EcoFlow. So now we're cooking with our air fryer. I'm just gonna turn it off. I'm just going to unplug it. We have about 1,400 watts of power that was right here from our air fryer. Now we can make our coffee. We can have all those creature comforts. We can have the induction burner. We can have all of those different things. We are doing it inside, but remember, you can now do it outside. You were saying, what I would love for you to do is once you get it at home, put it in different spots. Well, now when you move it from spot to spot, from inside your home, from the living room to the kitchen, wherever it might be, even to the home office, you're going to be wheeling it around right here in your Wagon. That's one of the greatest things about this bundle, and we've never, ever offered the Wagon before. This was only for our Today Special. We have never had this. Now, what I like is, although the power station is lightweight, it's about 28 pounds. Now, that might be lightweight to me, but not to you. So now throw it right here in your Wagon, and now you have a place for your solar panel, for your power station. So now it's not just moving it from place to place inside your home. Now it's place to place outside your home. Now you're going to watch the kids play at the football game. Now you're on the bleachers and now you've got a fan. Now you've got a place by the pool where you can have all of the different electronics and the things that you love inside the home, outside the home, camping to glamping. Now, of course, we're gonna play a quick game of this and that, or this or that, I should say, Natasha. Which one would you want? Would you want
goodness, forget it.
This one or that one? And look, the generators are fantastic if you are confident to be able to actually use one. And of course, as we said at the very beginning, if you have a home where you can use one, now you don't have to worry about a generator and gas, which we talk about perpetual power, which is what you were mentioning, Natasha.
Yes.
Unfortunately, gas is not perpetual. Unless, of course, you have your own gas tank somewhere, this will run out. So what do you do when the gas does run out? That's what we love about having the solar panel, because the gas doesn't. Because the next day, we take the solar panel out, and now we recharge our power station. This has to be 20 feet away from our home. This can be inside of our home. The game of this and that, not feeling confident with this is not for everybody. EcoFlow is for everybody.
And I hope you're ready to drive 3 towns and then wait 4 hours in line so you can fill up the gas to come back, because that gas is going to be gone at the local gas stations, especially if, you know, you're in the Southeast, or, you know, even in California, where I moved from, we had constant blackouts and brownouts and have obviously had our share of disasters over the last few years. Don't rely on the gas stations. It's a very scary time to feel like, you know, you are without the ability to have your creature comforts, especially if they're the comforts that are keeping you healthy. If you have your EcoFlow, it's like always having the cheat sheet. It's like always knowing that you have the backup parachute to the backup parachute to the backup parachute. And I think the second you pick up the phone and place the call to grab this, the second you go to your app or go to the hsn.com and you say 089765, those are the numbers for this item. You'll be able to choose then, do I want the generator or do I want the full bundle that includes the Wagon? You'll be using the Wagon just to bring in your groceries, by the way. This Wagon is super convenient. My sister's always saying, like, can we get an actual shopping cart from the store back at home so we can take in the groceries? No, Alex, we can't. But you could use this. You're going to be using this just throughout your life anyway. I love that this is a pretty high quality wagon, by the way, worth a couple $100s. So that's included. And the oversized solar panel, which means it will be charging and getting more wattage and getting more power to your EcoFlow faster than some of the smaller ones. If you choose the bundle, which most of you are, that is a $260 savings today. All of it will be free shipping. I think the second you just click it, and the second you click and you say, okay, that $124 flex pay or that $34 VIP financing flex payment, which will be on your HSN credit card, the second you do that, before it's even arrived at your door, you are going to feel more prepared. You're going to feel good about yourself. It's like if I have to make that doctor's appointment, I just feel great when they don't answer and I leave the voicemail. I'm like, that was the good thing I did today. I left the voicemail to maybe get back to me. This is the good thing you can do today. This might be the best thing that you can do today because you do not want to wait for the surprise storm that they said wouldn't be that bad. We know that. We have lots of friends and family who have experienced this in the last year. The best time to do it is always now.
Yeah, without a doubt. And look, as you said, look, we don't know what's going to happen when it comes to storms. You can see every year it says this is going to be the worst hurricane season. We have no idea. We do know that you adapt to the places that you live, whether you're in a cold environment or a hot environment, whether you're in an area that is prone to blackouts like this and brownouts, whether it's proactive or reactive decisions that we make, and talk about being proactive. When this happens, you know what we've done? We become reactive. It takes moments like this in our life to say we never want to do this again. And what do? We end up going out, we'll buy that gas generator. That generator is there for good reason. Of course, again, if you can own one. But that good reason is only for what? Emergencies. When we think about investments, you can now invest in something that will be there for the emergencies and for the fun stuff. And we talk a lot about emergencies, but ultimately it is about the fun things in life. Being able to bring power into the areas of our life that we haven't been able to before, because if I said, hey, let's go camping and bring the generator, you'd say that would just never be in a sentence. But if I said camping and then EcoFlow, great. If I said, let's go tailgating and bring a generator, you'd be like, yeah, that doesn't sound right. If I said, let's go tailgating and bring the EcoFlow, it does. Let's go to the backyard and bring an EcoFlow, not a generator. All of these different things, you will now be able to apply EcoFlow to. Now, look, we're talking about medical devices right now because we're in the bedroom. We're in those moments where if you do rely on certain things like a CPAP machine, imagine this. Your EcoFlow runs at about 30 decibels. It's whisper quiet. It'll be able to run your CPAP machine and actually tell me right now I've got about 15.2 hours that I'll be able to run the CPAP machine for. And you can see it right here on this display. It's one of our next gen kind of displays that we have now, a complete upgrade. This is the Delta 3. And just to kind of talk about some of the upgrades really quickly, because this is an abbreviated presentation. The Delta 3 comes with the latest and greatest battery technology that's on the market today. It's the same battery technology you'll see in some of these high-end electric vehicles on the road. And why? Because as you can imagine with electric vehicles, they're running a lot. Well, your power station can run for a long time. Not just for, again, running certain things, but for many years. And so what do I mean by that? Every battery has an end. It does. There's certain life cycles, and these life cycles can be limited or not. So on your phone, if you've noticed, you charge it and then deplete it, and over a couple years, you realize it just doesn't last as long. The same thing that'll happen with any power station. But on our original power stations, it used to be about 300. Now you've got about 3,000 life cycles now on your power station. Not just 3,000, 4,000 life cycles now. So now we're not talking about 10 years, we're talking about 11 years at a minimum if you were to deplete this and recharge it once a day. You have the 5-year warranty along with it because of that, which is amazing. Because in the world of technology, you get maybe one.
Right.
You get 5-year warranty backing your power station. You're going to have at least 11 years you're going to be using this, 5 years of which will be covered by the warranty as well.
And I think all of us remember last fall seeing those social media posts shared everywhere. You know, my daughter, she was at this cabin. We talked to her for a day, but then her phone died and no one's been able to get a hold of her since. The power's not on yet there. No one can get a hold of her. Has anyone seen her? These are those moments that we don't expect to happen. But if you have your solar panel, it doesn't matter if the power doesn't come on. It doesn't matter if it doesn't come on for weeks. You will be able to charge the things that you need. You'll be able to stay in touch with loved ones. You'll be able to use the medical devices that you need. You'll be able to eat the food, to have the coffee, to have the lights, to have the fan, to keep you regulated isolated and not have to pack everything up and go and leave your home at a time when it may feel uncomfortable and go into a hotel and pay for that. This is how you have your control back. And yes, of course, all of the fun and convenience that Justin's mentioning as well. We just have 1 minute left. So Justin, I love the Wagon.
Wagon.
It's first time seeing this. And remember, if you want to grab the Wagon or the solar panel, you will be able to get this home for a $124 flex payment. We will ship it to you right away. But if you want just the generator, that would be a $104 flex pay.
And look, the value is amazing.
Yeah.
The Wagon is $160 in itself. I think the solar panel is like $450 when you even just add it all together.
Yes, it's a wild deal to get both for just an extra $100. That is
pretty amazing.
Yep, I agree with you. And thank you for bringing us our favorite items that really were the most important purchases I made since starting here.
Look, you're going to make me emotional. But to be able to present something like this is unbelievably gratifying. To be able to be part of this, to know that it's something that when you get it at home, when you're going to use it, it changes your life in a way for the fun stuff and emergencies. Not a lot of different things that you can be presenting that you can do something like that.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
I will be back on Monday for my farewell celebration, 10 to 12 on Home Sweet Home. I hope all of you will join me then. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Lynn is up next with our Today's Special. Lynn, don't